So my name is Christian Buckingham, and my co-authors are Tandon and Singh. I just want to share some of the results we've uncovered with regard to curved ocean fronts, thinking that these would be important for the Southern Ocean and of interest to this community. By way of background, the ocean surface boundary layer is an important component of Earth's climate system. It determines how energy, buoyancy, and tracers are exchanged between the oceans and atmospheres. Many studies, particularly those recently, have identified mesoscale and submesoscale phenomenon as potentially important in regulating these exchanges. We think, therefore, that representing these in Earth system models or climate scale ocean models is important for improved climate prediction. So an example of such a phenomenon is found in a paper by Eric DeCero and co-authors. They discovered observations that showed low potential vorticity is coincident with high dissipation rates that could not be explained by any other means. This was suggestive of symmetric instability generated by downfront winds. This was repeated in the Gulf Stream region by Leif Thomas and co-authors, and there they found observations of low potential vorticity coincident with a quantity called the Ekman buoyancy flux, which is driven by downfront winds. So this is all suggestive that symmetric instability really does play a role. We ourselves did a study on this in the Northeast Atlantic, finding that this removes energy from the upper ocean circulation. Ji Haidong also did a similar study, but globally, finding that it removes energy from the ocean circulation, as did we. It also re-stratifies the ocean surface and potentially impacts tracer budgets at the base of the mix layer. So therefore, it can potentially have a pretty large impact on the ocean. So all of this theory really assumes a thermal wind balance, and so does most of our understanding of baroclinic instability. But if one looks at the ocean, one can't help but notice that it's quite meandering or eddying in nature. So wouldn't gradient wind balance be a better approximation? I mean, particularly at submesoscales, but also at the mesoscale in strong current systems. So for example, this is a thermal wind balance. When does the curvature term matter in the gradient wind balance? So this is, again, this is the thermal wind balance. And when does this term matter? So this is a gradient wind balance. So the results we have so far are as follows. Curvature seems to change the symmetric instability completely. It actually reverses the stability. So for example, it stabilizes anticyclonic curve fronts at low Richardson numbers and destabilizes cyclonic fronts at low Richardson numbers. To understand that, let's consider the following regime diagrams. On the left, we have geostrophy. On the right, we have cyclo-geostrophy. And the x-axis on both plots is the gradient Richardson number. And the y-axis is the gradient Rossby number. So looking, as you move to the left in one of the plots, you go towards reduced stratification and or high vertical shear. So in a front, for example. And in the y-axis, you find that the lower half of the plot corresponds to anticyclonic flow, and the upper half the cyclonic flow. So for geostrophy, we have stable cyclonic flow. That's the stuff shown in blue, whereas the anticyclonic flow is unstable. Now, if you move to cyclo-geostrophy, or with curvature, it completely alters this. Now we have instability for cyclonic flow and marginally stable for anticyclonic flow. So two additional results that we found recently, this is work driven by Suraj, is that the curvature actually changes the dominant depth scale within the instability and decreases the scale of the most unstable mode. So why does this matter? Again, it has potential impacts on energy, buoyancy, and tracer budgets in the upper ocean by removing energy and affecting exchanges. So we're promoting this idea of a curvy ocean, and I would like to just thank my funding agencies.